Geez, I've been excited a lot the last couple of weeks talking to a whole bunch of people, but probably the most excitement has been the build up to this conversation. Man sitting on the other side, I'm not going to tell a lie here. I mean, he's probably one of the most divisive individuals in combat sports in this country. He's going to tell you a lot more about it. He has, how do I start off? He's done it all. He's seen it all. He's probably fought them all. I don't know. He'll confirm that for me just now. Quentin Chong, thanks so much for your time. I know there is a massive story behind you not being available to people, being literally persona non grata, if I could call it that, for the last 5-6 years. I remember your days 6-7 years ago in the EFC where, I mean, there was so much shit going down there. It was frightening. It was lovely to watch as a fan. Let's be honest. I mean, let's not take it away. Fans loved the excitement. They loved the aggression and the angst that was there. But first and foremost, Quentin, thanks for your time. Thank you for talking to us, giving us the lowdown. I mean, you come from a storied past in terms of martial arts, kung fu. You're essentially, I mean, in many quarters regarded as the father of Muay Thai here in South Africa. You founded South African Muay Thai Federation. You founded the South African Muay Thai Institute. You're a 2-time world champion. Once again, welcome to Punchy Kiki. And dude, talk to me. I mean, where the hell have you been for the last 5-6 years?
Well, the last 5 years, to be honest. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Mark, for me to come to the show. It's been something that I was hesitant of coming on, but I think the time is right now. When people ask me, how come I'm not sort of open into certain things, is that I have teachers, and this is a thing of today's world. I still have my teachers. I listen to the bosses that I have. It's not about Quentin Chong, it's about me. Signing up to spread the word of martial arts, of Kung Fu, Muay Thai in the world. And I think the guys here got a wrong perception because how do you change a rule if you're going to do driver's license, example, so we can catch up to how we can explain all of this, is that no matter you drive Formula One, you drive go-karting champion or whatever type of driving, if you're going to drive a normal license, you need a normal license. If you don't pass it, you cannot be legit, or you can't be legal, as you can say. And you're not going to tell the person how to change the book, because you have to drive forward, you have to do all the parallel, all that type of parking and awareness and knowing your signs, example. So martial arts or a sport is no different. Okay, by respect and honor, and of course, in the Muay Thai, we have our 5 pillars, as you know. It's our honor, tradition, respect, excellence, and fair play. That's also one of the reasons how we got into the IOC as a recognized sport, or provisional at the current stage. So that's when people talk about it, is that how can you now tell me, because you go to Thailand and you drink your Samsung beer, you meet the boys or the lady boys or whatever you fancy, or the ladies, and you go to a camp and you enjoy it. That's tradition, that's learning the art. But then when you come back into the country and you see opportunity and you forget to do your homework, who is in charge, what you have to be. To make a car, to drive a car is 2 different things, right, Mark? Yeah. I don't know if you can correct me on that.
No,
and that's weird. We don't question it. It comes to the martial arts, the sad thing, of course, as you said, everyone's a grandmaster, especially now since COVID. We don't know what it is, so a lens to it. So of course you've seen with MMA, which has hit we've called it, it's going to be the biggest sport in the world. Why? We want to see people fight with the least rules. Why do we like drama series, Igoli, the Place of Gold, which is great. I grew up with that, and The Other Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives. What, when you watch it, besides the people getting older, is more drama, more about making the viewers being part of it. And this is how you sell a product, correct? And you can have the best product in the world. If you don't have viewers, you don't have a product. So it comes to the martial arts on my side, is that I did I came at the age of 7 in South Africa. if you look at the history that we've been through, is that my grandmother used to speak to, I think, is it P.W. Botha at the time, their offices where I think Chinese or foreigners weren't allowed to marry an outsider to live in South Africa at the time. So my grandmother pushed it big time because my dad's South African Chinese, my mom was Hong Kong Chinese. So about, I think, in 77, I don't know, 76, the law got passed. That's when we came to live here. And my dad was a driver for a car. We come from humble beginnings. My mother's a child of 10. So you can imagine craziness. But when we left Hong Kong, I was doing Kung Fu at the age of 5. How did I do Kung Fu? Is that we're running around in the flats going crazy. And the one uncle said, come inside, boys and girls. And of course, their goon or their training areas in the lounge with all the lion head drums and all the wooden dummies and things and the spears. And then we had to do the horse dance, the mabu, which, in Shaolin. And it's weird. My brother, Winston, myself, we took it. We loved it. So we kept up with it, funny enough. And then coming to South Africa, I remember there was only judo at the time. And there was no Kung Fu suits. For Christmas, I wanted a Kung Fu suit. We still had this red post box that used to have, used to stay in Kenwyn that time. And I used to go outside, put my little letter with an envelope, and I used to sit and wait. Father Christmas never came. But I always had, so I've always had that belief of loving fighting and that style. And the funniest stuff too, where martial arts got me example, when I was young, my role model was, I found out now, was Jody Scheckter. Do you know who Jody Scheckter is?
Yeah.
He's our first South African, the one that won Formula One. So I saw his things. I was 5 years old. What do I know? And I had these, I think, figurines where you can get those scale electrics. And funny enough, now I'm having shows where he comes as my guest. So these are the things I talk about martial arts. When people travel, earn certain colors where they are. And now you get put people down because of this and that. And the sad thing is we all complain about government, but we allow them to do it. We are joining the people that if I'm going to a fight, there's no AIDS test, no hepatitis B, there's no proper ref, no judging, none of them's been through any. So it's nice. Now you get hurt, who pays for it? Now parents, can afford it in COVID times? Is it the right way? So where I've seen in martial arts, it's gone too quick, too fast, but it is what it is. But if you want to make money and you're not sure for your kids, he's not sure, let him become a physio. Up next to a gym, he'll make fortunes. He can travel to Dubai, anywhere in the world, because why? Again, health is wealth.
Yes.
Everyone's getting hurt too quick, too fast. Yes, they're doing 1,000 punches, but you're putting the wear on their body. Yes, it's good, but if you're doing correctly, where you're not first doing 1,000, where you're talking the hip, example, I'm nearly 50, and when you pass 40, your training changes.
Absolutely.
And this is why I was fortunate to be invited by Randy, the natural couture, 7-time UFC champion, the Hall of Famer, the face of Captain America in America and in the States. And you watch how a guy like he does, no complaints, gets into a camp, 1 month, he's done, he's overtrained. He's so good, he's in shape, he doesn't party. Yes, we go to the obvious thing to do, whereas that's why in this country, I think what happens is, if I'm just talking here or worldwide, the guys forget to first, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? But of course, TV doesn't want that. They want you to buy the hairstyles, this and that. And then again, whatever you're going to do, you're going to give it to your kids one day. That's my next dream. I wish I had a family and a kid. Because of the martial arts and the way it's gone through, I had to sacrifice all of that. And nobody knows what we've done, but no one cares. So again, end of the day, I've stuck to what I've earned my colors. So wherever I have, it's judged by the board. The work that you put in, the results that you achieve, it's not just because, well, this guy is a 2-time world champion, he's a 7-time world champion, he's achieved this, he's got big muscles, he can do all of that. No, it's about protecting the sport. It's about making those right decisions. And that's where I'm at my life now. I've learned to, they've always said, Quentin, you must step up. But you can't. How can you step up when no one can even teach Muay Thai? See, this is another.
So Quentin, this is where I want to come in. So you're making some very, very fascinating points right now. I mean, talking about the fact that boards now are essentially those organizations that are determining who is good, who is not. We've got board directors, board members that all of a sudden attaining the highest possible achievement within the sport. And many of us know that they have never done half of what that sport requires them to do. And yet you've got individuals like yourself and many, many others whose sole focus seems to be on developing the art, developing the discipline, and ultimately creating a let's call it rank and file of youngsters who have learned the right way to follow in the steps of that particular discipline. I mean, I look at the brothers from Taekwondo. What's his name? The Phillips brothers that have just sort of been Ajarn Phillips and his brother out of the States, who have just sort of attained master level from a Taekwondo point of view. I mean, that's 40 years of discipline in the sport. And I mean, you look at what they've brought into the sport, given back into the growth and development of Taekwondo here in South Africa. And you have to do nothing but take your hat off, bow before them and say, guys, hopefully the next 40 years, you are just going to develop the next level of Taekwondo athlete in this country. Muay Thai, under yourself and many others' stewardship, we're in a situation where Muay Thai, like many combat sports in this country, is not a unified sport. I mean, we've got SAMF, we've got SAMO, we've got I think it's two primary world Muay Thai organizations that are vying for dominance globally. I mean, is that
only one? There's always been one.
And yet in
now,
South Africa.
No, but this is why I said South Africa is very special. If you're going to talk to me, I'm going to talk facts.
Let's do it.
So if you're going to bring your truck license to come and drive a normal car, how can we chat? So this is the problem. If you're going to sit with people who hasn't done it and you're going to listen to something that's not going to pay your rent, or why listen to it? So then who has caused the mixed emotions or the crash of the martial arts in the country? It's people. It's jealous people that wants to be egotistic. But like I said, where we're at now, and that's why I don't know Ajarn. I know certain. I've never heard of Taekwondo in this country, so I'm very surprised. I haven't heard of karate or anything else. That's when I got into kickboxing. Boxing wanted to kill me. Why? Is because why is MMA done so well? Because they're doing something about it. Correct?
You're correct.
So how come? So the reason I left Kung Fu for the politics, for federation, not to train or study myself or to teach others, I complained, and this is where the problem started. I said, guys, we're sitting every Sunday having cakes and cookies. Where are we having events for the fighters? We need a product. And we have a Chinese guy that's bringing down, I've never heard of him, and he's got a guy now, it's become his Daniel's son, and he has this thing of talking about martial arts, what he says, where the guy doesn't even understand English, and now he knows the Kung Fu system, which is a problem. Without knowing about, not just like, if I'm talking Kung Fu, we know who is the masters, who has followed the lineage, maybe. So if you're talking Muay Thai or wherever, yes, we're talking at the lineage, who's following. But when we come as a sport, then my whole dream was to bring the world championships to South Africa, what I've seen overseas.
Yes.
When we entered the world champs. Second was the Olympics, IOC recognition. This is what the board since 97, 98, we've been on. Why is the Muay Thai, we made it spell one word and not Muay Thai separate? Let me see if you know this. Now, everyone knows martial arts, and whoever's listening in, I challenge you on this if you haven't spoken to me before. It's my lawyers, that's why he doesn't want me to talk too much, because I've got the formula. and then they'll try and make me crazy. Then I believe what I believe, and then I get a murder charge against me made up. And by law, they got to collect you if you have a firearm. I'm a tactical firearms instructor. That's my other business. I train special teams around the world. Yeah, so Steven Seagal is my client, my brother, Wesley Snipes, Randy Couture. I can go on. So when we looked at, we have our base of people that's in the world. We're not having what YouTube or footages. And this is where I want to sort of separate before sort of talking to me, because why would I talk about something? Here it is.
Yeah.
Muay. So let's talk WMO, Muay Thai. I don't know what you just mentioned. Okay, to be honest, there's about 30 plus Muay Thai bodies that is out there.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's one body that was recognized by sporting under the official WADA, World Anti-Doping, Sport Accord.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
obviously IOC recognized.
Well, it's also you get, so if you got something that's recognized in a sporting, therefore it becomes official, right?
Correct.
So then how can we talk about another body if they don't have any recognition? So it's a bright place again. So what we call it is all the people that was with me before. There was no other bodies, right? Dragon Power was my brand. So we had the gym, the promotions, the production, the fight nights and all of that, and our TV shows. So I had 1,500 plus students in one gym. I think it's still currently the biggest Muay Thai gym or martial arts under one roof that's ever happened. I don't know if Johannesburg is the same. One gym with 1,500 plus students.
Not that I know of, no.
Now a big gym is 30 students, maybe, correct? And I have over 100 fighters. So how we did it, it was not a club, was a sort of organization built in one way. I came from right weight categories, sporting. You have to have the right reference, or everyone has to have done their courses, have the certification. That's normal, correct? You want to drive a car, you need your driver's license.
You would expect that.
No, but like I said, then I don't listen to that. Because in a part where I come through, right was right. If I was right, I was fucking wrong. Excuse my language. Fine. If I was wrong, I was fucking wrong. To the stage where the Nedi actually killed me. I can tell you many stories. So then today, when you go somewhere, they go, the judge will go, Mr. Mark, did you walk in through the door? What's your answer? You go, oh, well, Mr. Mark, did you walk in through the door? Yes or no?
Yes.
Simple. Oh, wow. Everyone talks, welcome to South Africa or Cape Town. We've all know it. We all can give you advice, but we haven't been there or done it. So that's something where when you come to sporting, now you put your son in, which is 17 years old, big boy, beaten everyone. Now you can only fight seniors. But he's got 6 months to wait before he becomes a senior. But you put him against the current champ, because we know you can beat him. We watch MMA, the way they make things, or boxing, you know, this is the new white hype, or this is the new African monster, this and this.
Yeah.
And boom, by mistake, the boy gets killed. Then what happens? We as a federation suffer.
Yeah.
We as a country go 2 steps backwards. Therefore, now we've created people the master's gonna hate that. Why did you do this? So when anybody else says, they look at me for Muay Thai or for MMA. I did the first shows in Cape Town in MMA. Again, we're asked, what is MMA? What disciplines? How did it evolve? And now now's fathers are shaving their hair, got tattoos, and their sons, now they're MMA, they're teaching out of the garage, they're teachers. You can't stop that. We old people come from that teaching. Today, there's no more respect, honor, I've accepted it. But then people that comes to you are going to come for that reason. So we got to educate. I've done it where I've trained 2,000 street kids since 93, once a week, 1 hour, number 2, number 3 in the world. They have one or normal 2 fights against their own people to make it. So I can see they can survive. And they go to the world champs where the Russians, the Ukrainians are fighting leagues every week, every month. And our girls, we took 5 girls. We got the best improved medal team for South Africa. It was to 8 or something, where we took 5 girls, 2 girls number 2 in the world. Had 2 normal fights here, nearly beating the 4-time Finnish 4-time champion. How? Again, I come back to the teaching. If you have the right basics, you'll see the progress. But now everybody is, like I said, the hairstyles, the tattoos.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's great. But the level has gone more because people are more active. So, you know, you're going to get that jump. But then again, I look at injuries. I look at the one mistake, you know, okay, just put him in. Let's get the money. Example, one of the radio stations called me up, Cape Talk. I was in Thailand. You know the Mayweather fight?
Yes.
And the Conor McGregor fight. So when I was in Vegas that time, Conor wanted to write boxing, but the boxing board, the Athletic State Commission, won't give him the license. Of course not. He hasn't done boxing, correct? And years go by. What happens? Maybe they sit, maybe I'm just talking, you know, it's not on the record, where they talk, okay, well, we're going to now push boxing up because boxing is finished. So you're going to have MMA and boxing, and that's also one of the disciplines for the art.
Yes.
For MMA. So boom, you get it where McGregor is going hard, he's cool, he's gone to his hookers the night before, all of them partying, which creates a hype. And then they called me up and said, who do you think is going to win? I said, I'm going to tell you 2 stories. First story, what you want to know, and second story, what is fact. I go back into a sporting commission. I'm going to be very careful to sanction someone who's never been in a boxing fight, which you tell someone as an athlete, you're going to go amateur, pro and professional, or maybe you can jump up because you have the right training and you can handle and you win. You go up and then you become a title champion, or you can go into that specific tournament. Now you got a guy that comes in, boom, he goes straight into it, fighting the number 1 in the world undefeated. How? It's a great, I mean, for him, hey, 100 million, whatever, and he gets his dream. But how? He can fight. That is the difference. But then again, we can't not do for one and not do for the other.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
So it's a hard one. I always say, make sure you have your kids and you go in. Example, we had a tournament and people from Durban flew down. They said, Sifu, they don't have their hepatitis and AIDS test. I said, no fight. No, but they came all at no fight. Got my doctor, cool. I said, I will pay personally for those tests and we can get it overnight. And they called me up. Let's see, the 2 girls both got AIDS. See, this is the reality. We don't think of that.
Yeah. But I just, Quentin, I just want to come back to the point that you're making there about the Conor fights. I mean, obviously, you know, Conor comes from a background of boxing. I mean, that's where he started off as a youngster.
Sorry, Mark, to finish that. Sorry, my mind jumps with all. So coming back to, so they asked me, so I said, I'm going to tell you the real story, what I think. It's a set fight. It's guaranteed they're going to have tap, boom. Because they're going to be betting on, and again, with sport, it's what I wanted. You do betting, you can make it, but that's separate.
Yeah.
Not like the way it depends, you know, but now it's a normal business and it's done properly. So I said, you're now going to put the odds to put 100 million onto Conor McGregor, where you're going to win maybe 50,000 rand. But we love underdogs. You see, this is also look at human now, where we're at and how people look at marketing.
Yeah.
Okay, of a sport where we can achieve it. So this is also when you go to a level, the passion does fall away. But of course, you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to lose everything. So come back to Conor. So I said, one thing, you're going to waste your money. Rather give it to charity or take your wife out for dinner or something, or buy a nice present and you can have the next happy times for the next couple of months.
Yeah.
So, and then the other one, I said, it's going to be make it that Conor's going to win. And that's what they did. I had some friends' wives said, no, they still believe the fight was real. It's no way. Like if you see my friend in Thailand, you know, they don't talk about the box. When, you know, Conor McGregor, what do you think of the fight? My teacher goes, you know, the way he trains.
Yes,
and that's the thing. As the fight went on, I watched it. We looked at each other, we just laughed. And we're like, okay, it's exactly what we called it.
Yeah.
And then we saw, as before they ended, I get a phone call from Cape Town. Quentin, do you want to do a quick follow-up on what you saw? Unfortunately, people don't like what I got to say, because I'm going to cut. I'm not going to let you spend money to waste your money, because I come from humble beginnings. And fortunately and unfortunately, but happy, I wouldn't be where I am now. So this is what I'm saying. All these little things I'm talking about, back to it, is that we need to know what is right and what is wrong. So you give everybody opportunity, but don't mess up like trying to do shows. Or if you're coming to do an organization, contact people who's done it. Say, look here, we're doing this, we're doing that. Example, the gentleman that the WMO, they give him a card system overnight, and the idiot goes and posts it, 12 card, thank you, you're a new member, done. How? So we in Thailand look at those 35 are just people that have been kicked out of the organization, and the club people that was unhappy has formed together. This is in a sporting body how it's controlled. Cricket, only one body. We don't discuss soccer, athletics, rugby, Formula One or whatever. But why we have issue, no one talks about a karate. Karate is 10 times worse politics than most. That's how it started. And people just assume it's there because it's IOC sport.
But
when
why,
it comes to Muay Thai, is why do Muay Thai when you can do kickboxing? Why do boxing? That is how I look at it.
Agreed, 100% agreed. I mean, the thing is, over the years, combat sports in this country has been filled with that politics. I mean, you spoke about obviously the two Muay Thai organizations. I mentioned it as well here in South Africa. We've spoken about North Korea versus South Korea Taekwondo. I mean, when we were talking about it with the Phillips brothers, walk down California. Any street in California, you've got South Korea versus North Korea Taekwondo being offered on every street corner, and obviously there's that battle continuously. We've got karate, we've got judo, we've now got within the MMA environment, we've got a similar sort of thing. We don't have any WADA or gains or any IOC sort of accreditation yet, although there's massive moves to make it happen. But we've got a situation of IMAF versus GAMA in the world vying to be that one credible organization to represent the sport around the world. And yet we don't seem to have this consistency of what is the single rule set that's going to be used. And I'll use an example. You know
why I can't go there with you.
I know why you can't go there with me.
You know why I can't? Because that's the days of our lives. Because that's a lot of nonsense what you guys are talking about. Why? If the car is white, let's talk white. Why are we talking about orange or other red colors? If I want white.
Yes.
So this is why you mentioned about the type. If you look at before, I followed the system with my dad. He took us to all the Mr. Miyagi, karate, Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude movies. That's also how we grew up. That's what was only available for us.
Yes, correct.
In this country. And I used to watch the Kyokushin tournaments. Wow. You go to UCT. You couldn't get parking from the bottom of the main road. You should sit there, amazing. You used to watch all these Matsui, all these Japanese heads come. Because for me, it was the hardest style and was a fighting style. I do it to fight, but way of life. If I can carry AK, why I carry a 9mm? That's just me, my personal preference, which I have both anyway. And I sleep with my AK. So you're going to ask, well, this guy must be dangerous. Then I'm looking at about where we're at in the world. So coming back to the sport, you talk about, like, I don't want to talk about other colors. Sorry about that. But
no worries.
It is when karate, everyone was together until Masuyama died. As a youngster, I saw how everybody just broke away. These guys should love, hey, us, and they kiss each other, and wow, it was amazing. People are drawn to energy, to seeing something go nice and high standard. It was amazing. And when he passed away, then I saw all these people. And then I followed the same concept, meaning how to run shows, how to make it exciting, and how to keep it safe. And that's why did I join? Now it comes to, why did I join IFMA? Was IFMA the only body at the time? Or was another body called IMTF, which
Yep.
before was WMF, which was the two bodies formed together. We came together to form WMF to go towards Olympics many years back. But then what happened with IMTF? They did their own stuff. They had all the legal meetings, everything. So we pulled out because we are going for the right. Because we've got, if anything gets hurt, unfortunately, it comes back onto the head body. Normal, right? So then this is how it's split up. And then this is how all the guys did their things. We still carry on the same road. We didn't deviate. So this is why I look at being part of a group, not about who it is. Are we going in the right place? And this is why I'm saying it's common sense. How do you not know that? So you into think, oh, but is there any what ranking system? Well, belong to a body that's got a ranking system. Belong to something that has Google's. How stupid are you? Can't even find it on Google, and it's on there. Simple. There's nothing to it.
But surely, Quentin, sorry, but surely,
yes.
Ranking system needs to be independent. You would agree with me then.
Okay, let's come back to Formula One. Okay, you tell me how that's run. Same thing. What are we talking about? Here's your cars, you come, whoever wins, you go, you maintain. But unfortunately, the guy that's jealous is going to say something or is going to screw his wife, make that politics, the other sponsor.
I think.
Because I'm telling you why, because I've done it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. You've got the T-shirt. You've got the T-shirt. You've been there.
Why did it change? Now I'm gonna mention it since you're gonna challenge me. First of all, Marsa is fraudulent. You saw the big thing in the Sunday Times, the report, where the president are giving money to the girlfriend, right? You see, we can go different levels. Giving the girlfriend from her money, they don't have a treasure for the last 6 years. They just kicked us out. When they gave us colors in 2014, they kicked us out. Where's democratic? You know, they wanted to kick me out in the Kung Fu and the Muay Thai before because there's no African members on board. You know, Chinese that's got African status in this country now, correct? Do you know you're aware of that, Mark?
I'm aware of that.
Well, you've seen a gentleman that got it through the courts with my uncle. It's tattooed on my leg. Chinese that come before 27th April 1994, Freedom's Day, get African status. And there was 5 of us on the board, done. So they had to find something else. So this is what I'm saying. I'm looking at following the right road. Yes, sir. No, thank you, sir. If I'm talking about Muay Thai, why are we talking about kickboxing? Don't get it. So this is where people need to change your perception. And this is why I'm saying is that here in South Africa, you can get away with it. Master, no one even sits on the meetings. How can they tell me what to do or give advice when they're doing fraudulent stuff? Number one, they're kicking people off without a proper democratic agenda. They're going against the constitution. So then you tell me, why is MMA up? Because, well, they're going to pay them, right?
Yeah.
To get sanctioning fees.
Yeah.
Come on, everybody wants to be part of TV. For me, I'm not fazed. I've been there where I got 5 years in house arrest for 6 murder charges. How? When Mario de Silva, there we go, he was with, all of them was with me in the Muay Thai. It was only one federation. So why would you go to someone else if you're not? How?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
So now you're going to form your own traffic department and give out the licensing. When you got that done, you let me know. So this is where, that's why I said martial arts is a poor man's sport, because no one can pay you off. And that's the thing. Yeah. You can have a traffic department. I can give you the right person to talk to. I talk to all of them. And like I said, then you're going to put yourself up to that stable. Are you willing to put your kids and your family? So this is why I talk about, first of all, what is a martial artist? If we're talking martial arts. If we have in career, we got, you know what, that man's the right man for the job. Let him do it. Now you're talking about a sport. Stefan Fox, which is our General Secretary of IFMA. Now, what is his position now? He's the president of AIMS, of the IOC. It's all the sport they want to, like Muay Thai, to get, and Sambo and all that, to mini golf, to get as a recognition, recognized, it's got to go through AIMS. Right? So you think now I don't know all the protocol? So can you tell me, anyone tells me what is the requirements for Muay Thai or for kickboxing to get in? I can guarantee you're going to lose your pants in front of me to the whole audience because you don't know it. Not wrong, because I paid all my money to go on there. My mother goes, why are you always wasting your money? But I said, we have to invest to learn the knowledge, to be with those people is more than a dream come true, number one. I respect. And that's what we build up. Stefan Fox is the vice president of Sport Accord.
Yeah.
So you're talking about, I'm sitting with people growing up to where the sport is. So coming back in 2008, we changed the Muay Thai to one word. Why?
To talk
I want to
unity.
see, martial arts.
To talk unity.
Yes, what kind of unity? Remember, what is the steps to go as an Olympic sport? To go into as an Olympic sport, you can't name a sport after a country, correct?
Yep.
So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai cannot go in. So how did we get in?
Because obviously the Thai component of it suddenly refers to the country of Thailand, which then suddenly falls under the concept of.
But how did we get in then? It's already one of the criteria which forbids us to get into the IOC.
But because it's one word, it's no longer seen as a separate word in reference to a country.
Okay, so praise Brett and Crew Len told you something, I think. So that is what I'm saying. So why is I was there, our president, one of our guys I voted him on president on an international board was my lawyer, which I rehabbed him from cocaine. And then he ended up actually crashing everything for us because he was busted for cocaine and I had to take a fall for it, my brother and I. There's also, you talk about journey of life and jealousy. I never tried to touch cocaine in my life. Why? You like bananas, I like oranges. But unfortunately, this is when you become successful. You do what you do. And that's why people with me, because when I answer to the bosses, Quentin, yes or no? You having a team, no team? What are we talking about? How? Yeah, in South Africa, oh, guys, let's go here. But like you talk, it's got nothing to do with the sport. That's got to do with drama. Sport is about making it safe, making it enjoyable, about expanding to the world, and about taking the energies of people, making each individual to follow their dreams. That's to me is a sport. But if you're going to tell me about this one, why?
Yeah.
So this is maybe the education where people can maybe see why they won't sit with me and talk to me.
Absolutely.
Why? Because they don't know it. So
Quentin,
now you're listening to some,
Quentin, I mean,
coming back to that, sorry, yeah.
I mean,
about the one word, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, you're 100% right. You've got an incredible amount of knowledge. You've come through the rank, if I can say, you've come through the ranks of experience, whereby you've seen the politics, you've seen the power games, you've seen the struggles, you've seen where sport has literally crashed as a result of that politics. You've come through the process of rebuilding the sport up. And here I'm talking specifically Muay Thai in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, it went through a very, very turbulent number of years. It's now back up into a place here in South Africa where the sport has.
But why did it come down? This is what I'm saying. My teacher always said, I think prevention is better than the cure. That's my security. And, my teacher says where the leak starts, that's where it stops. But everybody's chasing the funnel, looking where the water to stop. So let me ask you, I always say the fact, coming back again to the Muay Thai one word. In 2008, we made it one word. Is because it was to be unity, that Muay Thai is not owned by Thailand. It's owned by the world, because each country has a sport, you've got to get recognition and exception for all the different agreements from WADA to whatever you can call it, the protocols that you need. So now, because I wanted to call it Muay, so my lawyer at the time was on the board. He saved Muay Thai in Thailand. He wrote all the letters to the Prime Minister of Thailand. I remember I didn't want to go to when they went to go and hand all those and take pictures. And all the old boxes was there. It was the most best thing for me to see. Wow. They all came there and everyone, imagine you're killing the sport of Thailand, which is their heritage. over 2,000 years old. This has got them where they are. Nankantom, which is the face of Muay Thai, beat all these people, Burmese fight, to claim land.
Yes.
So what was called, let me see if you know this. If the boys have told you, let the not it.
Now you're putting me under the cosh here. Go for it.
So this is what I say. It's not because I've had experience. I'm the guy I've taken all the stress on to help the country. So why would you want to shoot the guy off that's holding it? So then this is my question is to you guys. You guys know exactly what you wanted to ask. Why did it go down? You guys or everyone supported it to put me down. But I'm here. I'm stronger than ever. Why? I've stuck to the right road. About the Muay Thai. Now, so what country was called before Thailand? Where was Muay Thai done before in Thailand? Let me see if you know this.
You got me.
Think logically. You want to get a country cannot mean, a sport cannot be named after a country again to the IOC. One of the criteria. Did we try to find a loophole? Was Muay Thai try to pay money? We come from a poor body.
Yeah.
But we've earned our colors now to get money to give it back to the fighters and to the sport. So what was called before Thailand? What country? You've seen it on gloves before. Starts with an S.
Yeah.
You go to Thailand.
Yeah. Siam.
Siam.
Yeah.
So Muay Thai was in Siam before Thailand. So there's your answer.
Yeah.
How do you not know that if you do Muay Thai? See, that's for me. You know, now you call Ajarn and you call crew. What is the difference? That's what I'm saying. We all want to follow all the looks and we blame. That's what MMA has done so well. That is exactly what they've done. They've looked at what all the politics, they put it together in one entertainment, and they've done a best job. What is the strongest? They say the most hottest athletes in the world, MMA. What is the best pay-per-view on sport? MMA. I was there, was Randy Couture, when I saw the ratings where the MMA was overtaking boxing on pay-per-view. I saw everything behind the closed doors, but it's called business. So I saw the business line. Why not just follow that? As my teacher says, there's enough students and people for everyone in the world because we sit in this little clump. Oh, Cape Town is small. No, we make it small. Who's small? What is small, right? When you're taking people's goal, their life. I come back to again, without the seed, there's no plant. And then you look at soil, you look at the water, you look at, sunlight. So it's the same thing, anything that I say, people ask me, make sure they know their basics, So coming to that, so you can understand where all the other bodies now left and they formed their own. Because the people that's on they did it against me to try and shut me down. All my 2,000 street kids, I won the social development award out of 130 countries in 2016. Thailand got their social development and their copied is because of me. Of South Africa, what we did with our kids today has got their social development, got the UN Women, got everything. We own the Muay Thai Against Drugs Foundation. And then people say the kids train drugs for me, so they train with me so they can run the drugs for me. So you can imagine, when you're high up there, people are going to make things.
Yeah.
But I kept it. At the end of the day, there's the show. It's safe. Everyone's there. They're having a good time. The guys are following their dream. They're fighting the top fighters. They're following the proper, the league or what you call rankings. Ranking is easy. You can see who's who. But if you talk to someone who doesn't know, they want to start something new. Why? It's always been there.
Yeah.
It's because, again, it is about the money today, unfortunately.
Quentin, listen,
yes,
you have got, dude. We don't have enough hours in the day to just pick your brain. I mean, you've been a man that hardly anyone has been able to speak to for the last while. Once again, I have to thank you for the time. We have to set up another one. I mean, if your diary permits, let's set up something next week or the week after. Let's talk about some of the other points. I mean, I literally haven't got Mark, point number 2 on my list. But there's one thing I do want to ask you before we go.
Yes, sir. Yes.
One thing.
Yes.
Muay Thai has come a long distance in this country. I personally have spent a lot of time with Brett Clark, president of SAMF. I've spent a lot of time with Len Swat, Crew Len, as you refer to him. We've been talking about a lot of interesting things. I've been learning an incredible amount in terms of the art and the discipline that is Muay Thai, and those two gentlemen, among many others, have taught me much about that, and there's lots for me still to learn. But quickly, briefly, in the last couple of minutes, from your point of view, and like I said, this is definitely not the last time you and I are going to chat, but from your point of view, the future of Muay Thai here in South Africa, if it was up to you and only you, and you could wave the magic wand, and following on a magnificent Y crew, you could make it all take place, what would be the future of Muay Thai here in South Africa under your stewardship?
Well, I'm now I resigned. Imagine how hard it was for me in 2017, 2018. So I had to look at how to run the martial arts, the Muay Thai. How do we get it back of what's happened because of Master? And so then I resigned, and I've watched Brett. Brett comes from my championships. Then I resigned. I put the whole new board. They voted in Johannesburg. So I started going, not from Cape Town, Johannesburg first, business. And like I said, I advise now to South Africa and also the education system. And I'm on the executive board of IFMA. So Muay Thai is all of us. It's never been about one person. So if you want to ask about Muay Thai, things are amazing. Things are happening. We are going to get full ROC recognition very soon in the next month or so. And we have to be in SASCOC, which is sport law. That's why I said, if you're going to talk to me, we talk sport law, not about which club has more students, or hotter chicks, I can call it, or nicer ladies.
Yeah.
But for us, we go in that direction. All the leagues are happening now. Challenging Muay Thai, which got the #1 Asian show of reality shows. Don't know how many, couple of 100 million viewers. They're having it, and it's going to be America versus Thailand first. They're having the whole Super League where they're putting money in, $200,000 for the winner. So that's why this is my last executive meeting we had in Thailand. Now they're having the world champs on the 1st to the 14th with the juniors, and it's going to be the biggest show ever. Why? It's because Thailand's going to get their ROC recognition. Imagine for a country of Muay Thai, now it's official sport. And they're going to have also the Guinness Book of Records, the most people doing Y crew. So that's why, if you ask me, I know I skipped that because I always say, I don't want to talk about something who hasn't cleared something up.
Yeah. Because
when you've understood and you can see, wow, hey guys, let me take all the rubbish, which I've done for everyone. And I'm happy to do it. It's done. And I've come out stronger. It's great. And I've watched in 5 years. Has anything changed? Nothing.
Yeah.
So your mother always said, nothing. It's only gone worse. And I love it. Now they've got problems among themselves. But it comes to Muay Thai, things are great. You look at the South African Muay Thai Federation, underneath of the control of President Brett Clark and Crew Len. It is, I mean, we've done well. We did I think that we had the white placard day.
Yes.
And you saw that all over.
Yeah.
So that's also done with the other sporting body. But we got over 300, I saw today, they put it out, 350 million viewers it reached.
Wow.
If you ask him how Muay Thai is, it's great. Only it's happening. Once it's in SASCO, it's going to be all the newspapers, the same. So that's my dream. And then, of course, education. How do we keep the respect, honor, discipline, and the highest standard? And this is where you look at what COVID's done. Be safe out there, everyone. It's a serious matter. And where now it's brought down, get your education, get proper tuition. And this is where the world's going. The people that come back to your business is people that you are loyal to. And like I said, don't lie to your people. This is what happened in martial arts. They are not real martial artists.
Yeah.
We are all the people that's giving Mario the silver. Where are they now? They even kicked him out, Master. They used him But that's a whole nother debate, which is with the sports minister's office. He's got a table with him. I don't want to discuss certain things, but where we had Muay Thai is amazing. We had our virtual championship. It's gone big. And we just had our...
It was a fantastic event.
Oh, thank you. And and they're adding a couple of categories now this year. Is the one for the ref and judging. So the refs are going to do it with, they also can get a recognition. So sitting on this board, you asked me, going towards a sport, it's been amazing for me since COVID. I'm looking at where we're developing structures and rules to take the world to the next level. So this is why I'm saying things are bright. It's great. And they're going to have on Netflix, they're going to have all the shows of Muay Thai. Everything has been set in place because Muay Thai needs to be one body, because WBC now, and there's few times, all these bodies you mentioned, a lot of deaths, which we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to talk, I will tell you everything.
Listen.